All right, I have the recording going, so I think it makes sense to get started now. We're at about 116 students. What is the difference between an American student and an English student? That's pretty simple. It's about 3,000 miles. I think it's even farther for our friends in China and in the Middle East and Africa. We've got people in a lot of different places. So about 3,000 miles. What we want to talk about today, well, let's do our normal housekeeping first. The first, maybe the most important thing of immediate importance is Submittee. Submittee goes live tonight. It's written. I'm kind of waiting for some feedback. I hate to release things that are not, if we release things and there's errors, it makes your lives difficult and my life difficult. So I'm asked the other professor to take a look at it and make sure that we are on the same page with everything. But it's all written, it's staged on our test server, and it's ready to go. So we'll be releasing that tonight. We've decided to run this. There are 70 points available with auto grading. You will be able to see your score and your answers for about 35 of those points. The other 35 points are going to be hidden from you, and that's, you should make sure that when you're doing your programming, that you're testing, that you make sure your stuff, isn't crashing, that you test some of the hard cases, endpoints, edge points, things like we kind of talked about during our labs and classes. And if you do, you will do absolutely fine on the hidden questions. So, that's the advice that I want to give you, is just make sure you test. That's essentially what this is for. We don't want to be giving you the answers for everything. Follow the best programming practices we talked to you about. Follow the submission guidelines. Follow any feedback you got from your TAs or from us. So, goes live tonight. You'll have until next Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday at 11:59 to submit. We are having an issue with the final exam time. We have been told by the person that handles these things for the department that the final exam is on 12/16 at 6:30. And they assure us that the registrar also believes that the final exam for this course is on Wednesday, 12/16 at 6:30. The registrar, however, continues to put out a schedule that has our test being on Thursday. I don't know what to tell you. We will keep you up to date in the discussion forum. We'll tell you everything we know. Right now, I'm getting conflicting information from the person who handles it on our end and the registrar. And I don't know anything else that I can tell you about that. We will get you the answer, the single correct answer, as soon as we know the single correct answer. We are as irritated by this as you are, probably a little bit more, because we've been fighting this battle for a couple of weeks now. So, we know about it. We're pursuing it. We hope to have it resolved soon. The final exam will have essentially the same general format as exam 2. We're probably looking at about a 2-hour exam. We will tell you on the exam how long it is. We'll tell you ahead of time. Right now we're thinking 2 hours. The only significant difference is you guys have been spared the wrath of one-liners so far. Go back and look at some of the old tests and some of the old the study material that we'll give you for the final. We'll make that available fairly shortly. Because, we are going to actually use one-liners on this test. Some of the material is best tested in that fashion for what we want you to show. But again, it'll be roughly the same as exam 2. We will write up something that is hosted right on Submittee, and you will be able to put your answers in there. One thing I do want to warn you about, or I want to tell you, is make sure that as you answer a question, you submit your answer. We had some issues with people who had no submissions right up until the time, right up until 20 minutes after the test, and there's no way for us to know whether in fact you are having technical difficulties or you just submitted after the test, please please make sure you kind of follow along and save your work as you go by hitting submit. You can hit submit. We don't give you an infinite number of submissions, but then again, it's only 120 minutes. You wouldn't be able to use an infinite number. We will give you enough that if you save after every question, you can still go back and change your answers a couple of times and not have any issues. Okay. Let's see. All right, so that's what I had for you in that realm. We've been talking about recursion. I think where we left off on Sunday,